Hello, my friends, and welcome. I'm Katie in the Nest, and I know I always say it, but I really am extra excited about this video. So thank you for joining me. Who knows what the story will be, but I think it will be an interesting one. So before I get into all of this, because I'm feeling great, I better check that you are feeling fine. I hope you have some stitching or creating to do with you, because this is a bit of a story and a reflection, and I think I've been hinting in the last few videos that I've been working on things in my mind. Now, does that happen to you? I just had this sense of energy and some special things were coming and I wanted to create, but I didn't know quite what it was. So I have three big projects, well, two already on the go that you haven't seen, and this one. And it's I don't know how quite to say this, but it's about reflection and growth. And thanks to the Roxy sisters, this time last year I joined their project, and it was volume 7. I think they're up to 8, and I adored this work, and it was the still life. But again, if you've been with me for a long time, I had to have 3 goes at least of starting, chopping it up, changing, just not getting it. And it still, though, remains one of my very favorite pieces of making. I backed it, but it hasn't been completely finished because I sort of wanted to get it to a stage. It lies over a chair in my house. But what I'm going to say really boldly is that for this prompt or project, and I'm hoping this is okay, I want to have a go at redoing volume 7, because I just adored that. I've been rewatching the girls' videos. I watched Rachel's beginning ones again this morning, and it just speaks to me. And it's so beautiful. And my style is nothing like the girls, but it just is something that excites me. So at the stage I was last year, or midway through the year, I had been playing with my things that are still my favorites. Patchworking. This is off a quilt from the States that was all patched and I put things over. I had used tapestries, and this was reminded me of Vincent van Gogh, and mine became more and more whimsical. So it ended up like this. Oh, there goes all my crockery. And it was hard for you ever to see it, and it doesn't photograph very well. But in the end, it was centered around, hang on, I'll get that little teacup out of the way. Hang on, will I try and go out? Yes. So stay with me. I hope this makes sense, and it will be in another adventure. I centered it around this centerpiece that was off a supper cloth that was in this beautiful sunny color, and it hadn't been embroidered, it was printed on the linen. And then I gradually got bolder because I watched the girls put vases and things on, and at the time this was the most realistic shape I had ever done. And now I look at it and look, I was going to say and giggle, but I giggle with joy, because this is all about growing. And I'm someone who, I'm just out there and being honest, because I can see the crazy things, but I can also see me in this piece. In fact, I'm going to cry because I love this adventure. My son was living with us at that time. He hadn't moved out, and he and I would just turn this work all the way around and upside down and chop it, and we still this was the best it got, but I'm looking at this cup here in my favourite fabric from Therese from Love That Fabric, but it's back to front, and I didn't even think to flip it. So I was a baby, and I'm still not much more than a baby, but I'm learning. So that was another tapestry. It's got it's got this fabric that I got off the sofa again. Oh, hey, this is why I know I ran out of needles. I'll leave one there, but that could come on spare. A rabbit, I got very fixated about putting rabbits and swans on, and I don't think I have a swan. I have a bird there, and a heart started up there, and that giant tapestry, and I was experimenting with satin stitching. So all in all, it's a ride of colour. It's an eclectic mix, and like my favourite bits of work, it takes a little while to take it all in. There's no rest for the eyes. This is one of those teacups that I painted, and it's got a little hidden pocket in it. And look at me there. I was experimenting with how to embroider layer upon layer, bits on top of bits. There's my French knots. So what am I leading up to? I love this work, and I'm not going to chop it up. But I want to try again. I want to start fresh and reflect, and I may not get much further, but from what I've learned in looking at everybody else's works and being influenced and doing more and more stitching, I want to try again, and it will come out incredibly different, and I can show you right now. So I'm going to do this, as I'm not sure when you'll see it, and it certainly I won't stay to a week by week by week. I'll jump ahead and then sit on it, but I'm hoping that might be something interesting for you. You'll have to let me know if you've done the girls' projects again, because they do take a while, and I know this one was, a big work. And as I said, it's not that I don't love it, it's just that I want to do more like this. And I've done the shrine course since, and there's something in me that still wants to bead and, keep embellishing and using my stitching. Okay. Deep breath. All right. So that's that piece. I do actually really love it. And now I'm inspired to go back and do some more bits on it. Look at all those patches, vintage bits. And I love that word violet. I actually found this original piece this morning when I was going through fabrics, and I thought, oh, they're hydrangeas, but then I saw the word violet. Okay, so be prepared. Here's my desk bare for once, and I'm going to, in fact, I'll bring you in for a minute. Oh gosh, where do we go? Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. The other thing that's happened since I did that, and it has been incredibly influential on me, has been my trip to India. And you know how I love books, and because photos are on our phone, I like to invest in books as well when I'm on a trip, so that I can just see someone else's beautiful photos anytime I want. Now, this book I saw over there, but was only available at the time through Google India. Is that right, what you call it? There's the details there. Not that you have to in any way go seeking this. But the news is I had to go on a waiting list, a pre-order, for it to be published in Australia. And it came out, I got this through Booktopia just before Christmas. And what I love about it, it's no words, just all pages. So this is a favourite page, and in a moment you might see the significance of a page like that to me. It has lots and lots of chapters that appeal to me. Objects and artifacts, typography, adornment and identity, and architecture and interiors. So I thought I'd just show you some things that I love that in my still life, not object-wise, but colorway and thoughts. Look at this. It is a mat on the floor, all patterned, and on top are all these various shapes, none of which particularly go together, but the mix, I think, is incredibly beautiful. So hold that in your mind. Look, I'm using my sari silk, my silk. Hello, Tracy. Some of this is, you know, is yours. That goes with it. Look at that for their teapots on their way, and look at the plates and how they're keeping their grain, and the use of circles. So that's another influence. So I suppose I'm saying I'm heading for a less traditional still life, but still one that you'll be able to recognize as a still life. That's like a big sheet backdrop. And look at the contrast of that colour. So colours that normally we wouldn't think to go together. I could spend hours on this book. I had one more. Oh, with my chicken. The use of colour in blocks against each other, and then the patina of the paint. Is it in mauve? Yeah, things like this. The paint peeling off is just so beautiful. I mean, the bits of paint falling off in my house are not attractive at all. But over there, it's just gorgeous. It is art itself. Okay, so if you don't like bright colours, you might need to put some sunglasses on. And again, I'm going to say this is not everyone's aesthetic, and it's certainly a different direction, but I am thrilled to bits. I'm honestly shaking with excitement. So I'm going to show you what I have done so far. In fact, I'll pull it out or pull it in. And we'll see. You still won't be able to see all of it, but there's my everything. I said it was tidy, and now it's all coming in. Okay, what have I done so far? Not a lot. I have found a blanket, a cream blanket, and Rachel had said hers was 1 metre by 1 metre. And so I've cut the blanket and I've been working on my background. And I started off very, very Sanderson. And then I came across some artifacts that I've been holding on to for quite a while. And so I'm just going to go straight to that. This is part of the attire that a priest, I think, wore in France. I bought it at a beautiful antique shop in Nelson in New Zealand. And when I go back to teach with Fleur next year, oh, it is this year, in June, I cannot wait because I'm going to go to all those amazing stores. And it's worn out, obviously, and it was this incredible, I'll show you the design up here. I hope you can see. They're all beautiful decorative patterns that probably have a name. And that became the thing that I wanted to use most of all. So I've cut it, I've taken the backing off, but most of all, I fell in love with the knowledge that this was backed on hessian. So it's going to be old. The hessian is stained and worn through, and this is natural. Has it been eaten by something? I don't know. But for me, that was the driving piece. And then I have auditioned all sorts of fabric. And this is the one that has ended up being the main backdrop. So I suppose in a way, I look at that because I've been to India recently and I think those colors are the ones that I've seen. But ironically, this is block print cotton and this is very old satiny silk from France. So that juxtaposition has been exciting to me. This happened to be, I bought it in Chennai. It's a meter by meter, so I've just pinned the whole thing in down. That could be a waist. I can always rescue some underneath. So I've just started invisible stitching. So I've got sort of the side a little bit down and I wanted this to stay in place. And then I have pretended, and I will put it on a bed. I'll have to move the camera and everything when I get a little bit further on, but because this is the introduction, I'm just giving you the put your sunglasses on, and oh my gosh, that doesn't go right from the beginning. But I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for contrasts of patterns. This is going to be a standalone hero piece. And this is a piece of sari that I got from the flower markets. And I shared indeed in my Indian bazaar packs. It doesn't need to go right down to the bottom. I'm going to put another panel across that I will explain. So at the moment, that's sort of hanging under there like a curtain. So it's like this is the wallpaper. This is the, in my mind, very abstract. This is the, could it be the pelmet? Not literally, but abstractly. And it's worn out. So we're thinking age. And what will I show you next? I'll show you what I'm next for the background, and then I'll talk to you about some of the feature pieces that I'm thinking about. So this is like the bottom third. I have lots and lots of trims, and this is a favorite one of a sari that was plain, and I just love those squares. I love the gold. I love the boldness. So this will go along the bottom. I don't know which corner. I made it sort of 2/3. And so it could come from this side this way, or it will come from there. And it might end up being chopped. I don't know yet. But that is a piece that I will be adding somewhere. Along the way, I have been digging in, what will I show you first? I can't really show you in proportion, but I will try and get a sense. And please don't complain that you can't see it all, because I know that. But there will be, so this is a room, figuratively, pelmet, curtains, and there needs to be a table, and that table will come about 2/3 down. So I'm just going to pucker it up so you get a sense of it. Now, the back of that French press gear was covered with this sort of fabric, which is embossed and it has braid on it. This will be the piece that I use as the table. Now that looks incredibly white, and you'll have to use your imagination because it's actually cream, which will blend in, but I love the texture. I love the braid, and it almost gives like the idea, a 3D idea, that that's the bit hanging down and this is the table, but it's going to be spread out and the curves are going to echo each other because there's a curve up there. This is going to go the opposite way and spread over to the side. Okay, so you're getting the idea. But I had a bold idea. The reason this was available was it was very, very stained. So I've had a little practice at something on the very, very stained bit of the gown. Can you see all of that? We won't even guess what that was. But I've had my gouache out and I've been experimenting to see whether I could colour in some of these circles. So if we stretch it forward, that there might be some colour. Polka dots, a polka dot tablecloth. Remember, that's a stain. So they're not all that regular, and I couldn't begin to do a pattern, but it's to me like a damask tablecloth gone modern. So that's something. I came across this little tapestry that I found in a thrift store. It's got the right colours. It's a candlestick and a rose and that symbol of light around it. So I did think, not directly here, but on this work somewhere, I can see that little tapestry joining in somewhere. I've also been collecting other things. So you saw me find that in, I think that was the sewing basket. So again, it could be a wreath on the table. I could cut that center out and do something with that, not up on the curtain. But again, I love the use of tapestry. So there's two. And now to the piece d'or. Oh, what I'm going to do, and we might try it in a minute, is I want to see if I can stitch around here in a colour to either go around each of the bubbles to see what that looks like, or to delineate this pattern. I'm not sure, but it won't stay like that. So please don't worry. Not that you would, because This is my crazy project, but just in case, it's worrying me. That's why I'm over explaining, because it's way too bright with all these other dark colors. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. So I've run out of room because I'm stacking everything. Okay, when I buy something special, it's about celebrating and using it and giving it new life. So part of this set, so this is one of those, it was like a tunic, I think. So that was the back. This is the front that I've taken off. And around the neck would have hung, well, it was with the same set, some other tapestries. There's the back of it, but on the front is this. So I was looking at Rachel's ginger jar. I love that shape, and I thought, I love vases, and I couldn't make a ginger jar last time. I just failed at the shape, and that's why I came up with a candy coloured jug. But this, I thought I could leave the fringe on, because fringes are very cute in the nest. I've added another tapestry on there, so that this becomes the main vase. I don't know. See, it could come down like that to be, why don't I take this off for the moment so you can sort of see it like that. There's still room to even hem it like that, or hem it like this, and then start to have flowers coming out. Now, I have been collecting florals, but I haven't got them here. I've got another piece of silk from India that you won't probably have seen. This is probably not with that, but I still need to make some more patches. So look at that one. I'll take the purple out from underneath it and see wildly how they all go together in a crazy way. So I'll probably cut or tear some little bits. In fact, why don't I, oh, did I bring my scissors down? No, I won't tear it for the sake of tearing it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Let's fold it up. I've got some other, these were hand painted silks, and I didn't sell any of them because they're so special, but if I use some and then have others left over, I will share them next time. So there we are. That's a little something that I could put little patches of this all over, even that size. What else? So I've got that going down the bottom. We've got a table. Oh, thank you already to the people who've watched yesterday's video and gave me some advice on stick and stitch. I have been, I worked a little bit on it more last night, and these are the sorts of things that once embroidered, I thought I could be cutting out and adding to my various vases and jugs on this project. So already I've called it a panel, but it might quickly become part of my jar. So ignore all that cream. Next time I might do it on, deliberately do it on a coloured background so that I can, I'm just, experimenting. So, phew. Shall I dare? Like, I've got so many funny little bits that could find themselves somewhere in my still life to capture, you know, again, it's the mystery and the unexpected that I'm thinking of. I think that's probably enough. You may, you may be feeling a little overcome with the colour. This is the most beautiful. It is a glorious pinky hot pink, and it just reminds me that, you know, we've used colour for a long time everywhere. So I'm gonna celebrate and play with it. And yeah, if you want to follow me, you've got that opportunity. So I'm saying so a lot because I really just want to get going and do some more. So this is my second attempt at volume 7 of the Roxy's, and as always, so many of us are indebted for the inspiration of those projects. So thank you, girls, and here I go to have a bit more fun. See you soon. Bye.